Hi all. Everything in my video is pulled from the public domain, and I am using them under the Fair Use, Fair Dealings guidelines. Everything I say is my own opinion. You should look into this information for yourselves, but I'm pretty sure I'm right.
Good morning, everybody. I hope everybody's doing well. Update for me, I am feeling much better, almost back to 100%, not quite, but getting there. So we have a lot to cover today, lots of updates and news stories as usual. So let's just jump right in and get there, shall we? Let's go. Starting off, the Queen has tested positive for COVID. I gotta be honest, that doesn't surprise me after Charles went to visit her and then he tested positive afterwards, and with all the people coming and going with her. But thank God she's probably fully immunized. She's only having light symptoms. I'm glad Buckingham Palace is being transparent. She's still doing light duties, and my prayers, of course, are for a full recovery. All right, let's move on to our next story. A poll was done in the United States, thank God, that shows that Kate is America's favorite British royal. I'm not surprised. 68% of U.S. residents said Prince William's wife is the best. Only 31% picked Meghan. Keep in mind, this is a recent poll. It's also been reported Kate spent $85,097 on clothes in the last year. Meghan spent $509,278, while she is the self-proclaimed crusader for the poor and oppressed. Is anybody surprised? This article even points out that when Meghan went to that school in Harlem, she was wearing more than $300,000 worth of jewelry, where when Kate went to visit the children's hospital, she wore hoop earrings that cost $162 and a dress that cost $55. The article says people are picking class over crass, and I agree. All right, moving on. Okay, people, here we go. Netflix is now considering actually pulling the plug on the deal because the two parties cannot agree on content. Even though Netflix is trying to hire people in to help them, apparently Meghan is still trying to keep hold of the reins and control, and the two heads can't come together. For me, it doesn't matter what they put out. I'm not going to watch it anyway. I've already canceled. Netflix now is raising their rates dramatically. So most people that still have it are probably going to cancel. I think they regret it. It's obvious that Spotify at this point is very angry and they very much regret their deal. And I'm beginning to think that Netflix does too. All right, moving on. All right, I'm barely going to give this story even a touch. They're saying that Harry has a temper like Diana. Duh. We've all seen it. The guy's a hothead. He doesn't think things through. Hey, Meghan chose him. Good luck with that. This story came out that Eugenie and Beatrice were tipped for a royal change after the Andrew scandal, and the answer to that is yes, they have been. They're tipped to be cut out of royal life literally completely. No more showing up for anything except maybe church on Sundays. I think considering the fact that Eugenie's been spouting off to Harry and Meghan about things that she shouldn't have, that's the appropriate thing to do. She's the mole, cut her off. All right, moving on. Next story that came out was how Harry was trying to keep his legal fight a secret. Now, I showed you that in the video the other day. He doesn't want things released to the press. But his PR machine immediately tried to put a positive spin on it by saying they offered to pay for their own security, which, of course, now we all know is a big fat lie. And no wonder he was trying to keep it quiet, because after all, it's taxpayer-funded security he's asking to get back. Kate Mancy, who works for the Mail, pointed out that Harry wanted a confidentiality order on his court battle, and when she broke the story, his spin machine briefed friendly journalists like Omid first with a gloss that led to inaccurate headlines. So much for tackling misinformation, and I agree. And to quote Madame Defarge from Twitter, "This is the People's Prince taking on fake news and misinformation one suppression order at a time." Spot on. And do you all remember when I told you that I thought that Harry and Meghan were briefing Omid, or Eugenie was briefing Omid, and Omid was putting out stories? Well, here's proof. So 5 hours after the newspaper told the prince's aides that they were planning a story, Omid immediately put out a tweet that said, quote, Prince Harry has applied for a judicial review of a Home Office decision not to allow him to personally pay for police protection for himself and his family when they are in the UK. A legal representative for the Sussexes confirms. Close quote. Yes, Omid had been briefed ahead of time by Harry and Meghan so he could put out a statement. Now, he's already admitted on camera that he works for them, but this just sort of backs it up, right? He's being briefed ahead of time. And I just want to say yay for the Home Office because they have vowed to make Harry pay a huge legal bill. Yep. And he should have to because the government is using taxpayer money to defend themselves in court. So yeah, Harry should have to put every penny back. I agree. Finally, before we get to our big story, a poll came out saying that Harry and Meghan have been rejected brutally and they shouldn't return to the UK. But here's the thing about the poll. I was absolutely stunned when I saw it. This was not just some little poll. They asked over 52,000 people. Only 5% said they should return. And there were a few undecideds. 93% of people said don't let them come back. They really hate them. But that falls in with our main story for today. As we've already found out, Harry is listed as one of the 4 people that could step in if the Queen was ever, incapacitated and unable to do her duties. That's the only link really he has as a quote-unquote working royal. Why he has not been removed, I don't know. Andrew is also listed as one of those people. And the reason this is all coming up now is because the lease on Frogmore Cottage is up. They had paid their rent through March of this year, and they were going to have to renew it. And remember, Eugenie and Jack are living in it. And since they don't really come to the UK and they haven't stepped foot back in the country, I would think they would let the lease go. But come to find out, they can't. Let me explain. A spokesman for Harry's group said that there were going to be no planned changes to the current arrangement at Frogmore, and his team put it out, and you have to wonder why, and I think the response below it speaks volumes. There are tax implications, visa implications, not to mention if he wants to remain one of the counselors of state, one of the people who steps in to help the Queen, he still has to have a foot in the UK. And I agree that that's probably part of his argument with the Home Office also about security. The articles started coming out. Harry and Meghan have to decide whether to renew the lease. What are they going to do? But as Baroness Buck said above, the Crown Estate has to agree to let them renew. So when articles like this come out, I keep wondering, how is he serving the Queen? By calling his family racists? By saying that he had to leave because his family wouldn't help his wife who had mental health issues? I'm like, how is he helping his family? He's not. Now, the stories have come out almost immediately that he's went ahead and renewed the lease, which means he has to pay another year's worth of rent up front. I don't know how he's going to do that, but I guess that's his problem because he has to have the UK address. That's what this is all about. Do I think he's already renewed it? No. I think this story is preemptive. I'll be interested to see if it's true. Let me also throw out there that we were unable to tell what Harry and Meghan were being charged for rent because their rent was mixed in with the amount of money they had to repay to Frogmore, so nobody could really tell what he was paying. But since they've paid off their debt, now we're going to know what they're paying in rent. We're all going to find out. And it has to be the current market value of that property. So now they're paying a mortgage in California. They're paying rent on this house. They're still paying for their own security. They're bleeding money. Now, a blind item recently came out, and we know that those are pretty spot on. And what the blind item is saying is that Meghan doesn't want to see a bunch of negative press about her for the entire visit to the UK. And that's why she wants security. In other words, they're surrounded by security, so they can't take any pictures of her that they aren't supposed to have, and they can't do anything with her. But, I've said it before, the security is for her. It's not for the kids. Nobody wants to hurt the kids. Nobody really is interested in Harry, but everybody knows what she's done, and they're not interested in her. I think she shouldn't come back. So, of course, the stories are coming out now that Harry is going to miss Prince Philip's memorial service next month because he's battling over security. Now, here's the interesting thing. Because that is an official event, he'll be getting full security while he's there. So that argument doesn't hold water. Now it'll be, well, they're not going to give full security to my wife and children. But that's not true either. It's a big function for the family. They would have gotten security. I'm telling you, his lies are just piling up higher and higher and higher. Ugh. All right, this is going to be a Tigger update. I had lots of people saying, why don't you show more pictures of the cats? Well, Tigger, as you can see above, is 15 years old, sleeps 95% of the day. It's usually hard to find him. He's usually curled up in a corner somewhere. And then when I find him, I just don't even think to take pictures, but this time I did. So here he is sleeping. He is living the life. You don't have to worry about him. He's okay. All right? So my best wishes to the Queen, and of course I want your comments on all of the stories, but especially the one about the renewal of the lease at Frogmore. Make sure to leave those comments below because you know I love to read them and you know I use them. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and if you've already hit the subscribe button, double check to make sure you're still subscribed because I'm still getting notifications from people that they've been unsubscribed. Don't forget you can follow me on Twitter, you can follow me on Getter, you can email me. For those who have donated to my coffee fund, thank you so much. And as always, you guys, have a great day.